Hey, it's June, Elder Abuse Awareness Month. I'm George.
I'm Jason Lavigne.
We're your PEI health educators, and this month we're going to inform you on all the stuff that we think could help you keep our elders safe. All right, so let's talk about some of the scams. I think the more popular ones that people are familiar with, of course, is the IRS scam. I mean, we know darn well the IRS isn't going to call you. How long does it take to get through to the IRS sometimes?
Oh Christ, it could be hours.
Shoot, I've heard of people take it all day.
Calling 15, 20 times.
You know, so if the IRS is calling you, there's probably that's a red flag in itself, you know. And if you feel like there's something wrong, you know, trust your instinct, you know, especially if you're a senior and you're concerned and you're alone, you know, hang up. You know, hang up and reach out to a loved one and say, hey, you know, the IRS is calling me. I'm worried, and seek out some information and advice, and then take it from there. Because you know the IRS probably isn't going to call or email. What about email?
I don't think they're going to email you either. I believe you're going to get a certified letter with a green stripe stating this is the IRS, and that's the only way, a point of contact that they're going to contact you.
You know. Yeah, so be mindful. Notice the letterheads and the phone calls and different things like that. Identity theft. We're familiar with identity theft. Protect your cards. Protect your mail. Shred it. Take it to places that could dispose of it safely. What about the home repair and contractor fraud? You've been given good examples of that one.
So a lot of times what happens is, say your air conditioner is not working correctly.
Okay.
And a lot of times what happens is it's just your filter that needs to be changed. So the filter will get clogged up of hair and dust and stuff into that nature. And you have a contractor come out and change the filter, but this contractor might be a scam. He might diagnose it all and say, well, I've checked it all out. It looks like you need a new air conditioned unit, which can be very pricey.
We're looking at 10, 15 grand.
Yes.
Probably.
Yes. So be aware of those things. Find out, you know, from a loved one, and if, like George was saying, if it doesn't feel right, take a step back and re-examine it.
Yeah, you know, and it doesn't necessarily, it's not necessarily, you know, the burglar in all black clothing with a mask on, you know. These can be your professional agencies that are come in, and these guys are trained to mark up or to sell up these products and to say, you know, they make certain percentages by upselling these items in respect to the professionals. We're not dragging any companies under the bus, but be mindful. You know, they're going to sell things that aren't you don't necessarily need. And then there are those people that'll come out and say, hey, you need this, or else, you know, your car's not going to run if you don't have the right brake pads.
Yes.
You know, and the brakes is a scary thing to talk about, and all of a sudden you went in for an oil change or new tires, and next thing you know, you're 800 into a brake job.
Yes.
You know, and it's hard when you don't have a lot of people around you can trust. So reach out. You know, Art Calvo, our Elder Navigator, the PEI team. We could help you find some resources. Find trusted family members, community members that you can reach out to, people that you could just seek advice from, and that could point you in the right direction. You know.
Yes.
There's a few more scams let's cover. Healthcare, Medicare, health insurance fraud, the grandparent scam, investment schemes. What's the grandparent scam?
So with the grandparent scam, an elder might get a call, and right away the elder might say, hey, Johnny, or hey, Tom, or hey, Paul. And what that elder did is gave that scam individual all the names of her family members.
So just so I'm clear, so a person, a scammer's calling and saying, "Hey, Grandma, it's me. Grandma, it's me," and then the grandparent or the person is saying, Johnny, is this you, Johnny?
Yes.
So they're basically outing themselves or identifying a name to help the
Yes.
scammer.
Yes.
Yeah, we've been hearing examples of this all over the community, and these are real things, and we're not telling you this to scare you. We're not telling horror stories here. We just want to raise awareness that these are out there. These are happening. We care about you, and we want to educate the community, and we have some resources. We're a resource, and we want to protect you guys. So let's see. What I talked a little bit about the perpetrators. The guy that we're always watching is we think the robber and the scammer is going to be the person dressed in all black, that's walking through the community, got a mask on and stalking, hiding in the bushes, and sure, they might be the robber, but the sad fact of the matter is some of these perpetrators might be people really close to us, like our caretakers, like our family members, caretakers, people that we trust. People could spend years building a rapport or a great deal of time building rapport, learning how these accounts and learning information before they actually start stealing information and taking valuables, So just be mindful of what you have, who you're allowing, the types of things that you have are giving people access to, even family members. Again, I go back to that gut instinct. If you feel like you're being taken advantage of, or you feel like there's an issue, stop what you're doing, or take a step back, reach out. There's elder abuse hotlines. We're going to share those hotlines. There's community organizations that are very, very active that you could call, and if you're wrong, it's better to be safe and be wrong than not make a phone call and something be going on. We're going to share some statistics here in a little bit that a lot of cases don't even get reported. A lot of cases don't even get reported because the likelihood of these perpetrators is somebody close, somebody that we love, somebody that loves us, family members. We won't get into the whys that people do that. We could probably, go on forever about that. It's a sad story, but let's talk about some of those facts. 1 in 5 individuals in the U.S. are seniors. So we love our seniors, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
We'd do anything for them.
Well, we do as much as we can.
As much as we could. Yes.
We do as much as we can.
Yeah. Yes.
If there's something we could help with, reach out. You guys know Art Calvo, our elder navigator. He's probably out in the field as we speak, getting it done.
Yeah.
So the senior population is a big part of our community, really our heart and soul, and we really make them our priority. 1 in 13 older person will be abused, neglected, or financially exploited. Only 1 in 44 financial abuse cases is ever reported to law enforcement. Okay, 1 in 44 cases are ever reported. Okay, and I mentioned that earlier. A lot of times we talk about shame. Our seniors are embarrassed. You ever been taken advantage of? It's not something you brag about. But mentioning it could stop it. It could also prevent a friend or another person, another senior, from it happening to, because sometimes in a circle of a group, a perpetrator might be in that circle. A caretaker might be taking care of multiple family members or community members. So if you raise awareness or you raise an alert, that could stop it from happening to other people. But again, the shame sometimes is what prevents people from actually reporting it. And again, the family members. Sometimes we don't want to out our family members. It's just a sad situation. And then 9% of financial abuse victims will turn to Medi-Cal when their own funds are stolen, and that, to me, that tells me that they've been, wiped clean.
Yeah. And sometimes they don't even see it because it might be $5 here, $20 here. And I know that Art expresses is that check your bank statements, see what's coming out. And when you're vulnerable and you're an elder and you're strictly at home and you can't walk, you depend on those individuals to go out and get your groceries for you or whatever you might need, the bare necessities.
Yeah, and that reminds me, this is a really difficult topic. It's a hard conversation, especially in that situation and scenario that you just showed. And those are the most vulnerable. And and we try to help, we do what we can, but we understand that there's some people out there that really they'll take whatever help they can get, and yeah, shame on the people that take advantage of them, and it's happening. But if you can do something about it, do it. Make the phone calls, make the reports, do what you can. And again, not just to the seniors that it's happening. This is not just for the seniors, but also, the family members that are taking care of them, the caretakers, the community members. This is information for us as well, because we care for our grandparents and our elders and our community members too. So we need to notice that this is happening as well. Another thing that I've heard, an example, as we've been doing this around the community, and we say the word technology is not too friendly with some of our elder population, but you could set some alerts on your accounts. You get into your bank account, you can call, or if you know how to use some of these apps, you could set alerts, and the alerts will say, if more than X amount of dollars is being taken out or spent, it'll raise an alert, a ring or a text or an email or a phone call and says, this money's been taken out of your account, and you will know, so that might be the most effective way. Another time is some of these organizations that you're helping, because I think our elders genuinely like to help people. They've been through some trying times and they want to help and give back. So you do things like donate to organizations. You see those commercial ads come in and you give back, to the needy. But some of these organizations set up these auto payments that you don't even know is happening. So go back and check your accounts often. Make sure there's stop payments on things. Call into your bank. Some of these things are so savvy that they know how to hide payments.
Yeah.
And it gets really tricky.
Yeah. And keep in mind, when these seniors get to this point, and they're vulnerable and they're alone, it takes a lot for a senior. Even how much they've given throughout their whole life, it takes a lot for a senior or an elder to ask for help. And they could be set in their ways or just they want to be alone, but it takes a lot for them to ask for help.
And I think with that being said, it's important for us as caretakers and as family members and as loved ones, when an elder asks for help, and if you're ever in a situation where they're sharing with you that they may have been taken advantage of, or an elder abuse situation may have come alert, it may be the first instinct to say, why did you let this happen? Or I told you how so-and-so was, but in reality, what that's going to do is make your loved one, your elder, not trust you in a sense to not share this with you, because they're just as ashamed and mad as you are at them as they're mad at themselves. Okay, I'm sorry if that was confusing.
No,
it
made sense.
So if an elder is trusting you as their caretaker, and they've then realized something's going on, and they come to you and say, hey, I feel like someone's abusing me, or I feel like so-and-so is stealing money from me, my advice is to be empathetic, listen, get all the information, make an elder abuse claim, okay, or go down the right channels, 911 or whatever else is happening, make a claim, okay, and then make sure the elder is safe, make sure the elder's okay, and then be supportive, because if we go on the attack with the elder, the chances are they're not going to trust us again to open up, because they're very disappointed in themselves as well. And there's only a handful of people they probably trust anyways.
Yeah, and if you do make that call, you can make it anonymous. A lot of individuals might think they might get in trouble, but the response time when you report an elder abuse is pretty quick. They'll come out and do a well check on that elder just to see if they are being abused or are being taken advantage of. So you're not going to get in trouble. Make the call and make it anonymous if you'd like.
So what are some signs that an elder might be in trouble or being taken advantage of?
Wow, there's so many different things that come to mind.
I think one of the most or the biggest warning sign might be their vulnerability, and then going back to that gut instinct. If you're the caretaker and you're around this person a lot, this elder, or you're the elder and your gut instinct is telling you that something's wrong and that someone's taking advantage or abusing you, or someone's abusing your loved one, that's a big one in itself. That's important. Don't discredit yourself, okay? And then at that point, take the channels, go down the steps that we've talked about. Some other things?
Some of the other things that they might be in trouble. Individuals might say, I need your debit card to go get you some food, and the refrigerator might be full of food. That might be a red flag there.
Right. Or opposite, someone might be doing their shopping and they might not ever have food, okay? Or they might be hungry or look malnourished, okay? Or missing doctor's appointments, or going to the casino all the time with so-and-so and hating to gamble, or doing things that they don't like to do, but doing them all the time because so-and-so is doing them. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Some other red flags, think about it. Talk to your loved one about it, and it's a good conversation, and it's something else to be mindful of.
Yeah.
Yeah, so, and then I think something that's important to note, we're not singling out our senior population as being, these huge victims, because they're very proud. Our seniors are strong, resilient people that have come a long, long way. My goal is to be a senior and take care of my grandkids. I can't wait for the day that I could, what do they say, pick up my grandkids, give them candy, and get them hyper and drop them off.
Yeah. They say that's the best part about it. But I know a lot of elders miss that. They miss noise in their house, but they still like their quiet time. So they get to send them home.
Yeah. Yeah. But why are seniors targets?
Wow, there's a lot of things. Their weakness, their dependence on others, trusting, the isolating themselves. The list goes on and on.
Oh yeah, vulnerability. You mentioned the isolation, right? Loneliness.
Yes.
People see that, in someone that's all alone. That's just a notable target. And then when you say weakness, physical weakness, and I think also there's a weakness in a sense to where I know that person's going to help me. So I know that if I reach out and ask this person to give me money, I know there's a soft spot in them.
Yeah.
I know that I've already taken advantage of one time, and if I say something to them, they'll do it again. So is that a weakness or not? That's left, for you to be said. But it's a hard thing. It's really hard, especially with family. The cognitive decline, meaning people, our elders are getting older and forgetful, and unfortunately, there's people in society that take advantage of them. Shame on them, but it's happening. So, the fears, they're when you talk about going back to that contractor fraud and some of those fraud, you know, the fear of, you know, not being able to drive if I don't get such and such done to my car, you know, or the fear of, you know, if I don't get this fixed, then, you know, I'm going to not have, you know, propane or whatever whatever is being told to you, you know, or else, you know, it's like, I don't want to deal with it. I can't deal with it. Just get it done. You know, here's money.
Yeah.
You know, and so, you know, and you know, if you do that, fine. But if it keeps happening and it's like, well, I just gave you the money you said, and then all of a sudden there's another problem, that's a huge red flag. That's a huge red flag. You know, what do they say? Get me once, shame on me, or shame on you. Get me twice, shame on me.
Especially if you're going in just for a tire rotation. You know, out here on the reservations, I mean, you go through tires a lot. I mean, if you go into town, especially when it gets hot, there's wear and tear on your tires. So it's important to know and understand those scams. So a lot of times, take somebody that knows about it.
Yeah.
Take an individual that knows about tires.
Definitely. You know, and I want to encourage, you know, us as grandkids and kids to be more proactive in our seniors' lives. I know it's hard, and we have our own families, and sometimes, and I'm not talking about you, but some of our seniors are stubborn and don't want help, and definitely don't ask for help, and don't want your help, right? You know, and I'm not talking about you, but sometimes it's hard to help because it can be difficult with all the variables that go along with time and priorities and responsibilities. But I want to encourage, you know, loved ones to help our seniors. You know, take the car in for that rotation, like you said. You know, be there when the contractor shows up. You know, not to be the professional or pretend like you're the professional, but sometimes just having another person there will prevent some of these people from taking advantage of the elder, because we talked about the isolation, the loneliness, and being alone, things like that. You know, so yeah. You know, and then what are some ways that our seniors can protect ourselves? Let's talk about that.
Well, some ways you can protect yourself if you're at a point where you're fall risk. We have Art Calvo that can help you with grab bars, help you get up off the toilet, or help you get into the shower to prevent falls. That's one of them.
Yeah, and you know, meeting with our medical team and our diabetes team and some of our professionals here and do some of that strength building, some of that range of motion, getting that confidence going, you know, to where, you know, you're confident in your movement and you may be alone, but you're still able to move around. You're still able to make phone calls and do certain things, because sometimes if we don't feel so great or we feel less able, then sometimes we talk about that vulnerability. We feel more vulnerable to people's at people's mercy. You know, we're helpless. We're helpless. You know, so if we start working with some of our professionals, getting on our health plan, getting our health, you know, in check, and we feel better about ourselves, I think that's a good way to protect ourselves. And again, calling down here, getting with our medical team, and getting your health in order, getting moving, getting walking. Stuff like that goes a long ways.
Yeah, I'm glad that you mentioned that, because sitting can really affect you. If you sit 6 to 7 hours a day, you want to start moving. And some of the stuff that we have here that we see that's really, really beneficial for elders is our chair volleyball. You know, come out here, have some fun with us.
Yeah.
And we'll get the help that you need and steer you in the direction that you might need help in.
I mean, think about how many ways that, for example, the chair volleyball team helps the senior.
Oh,
you know, and I commend everybody that's involved with their chair volleyball team, and that's just one example, and I'm sure there's a lot. But the chair volleyball team, you're hanging around people, okay? So right off the bat, you can go around there and say, hey, so-and-so is, anybody have a good, you know, air conditioning repair guy?
Yeah.
You know, and boom, it's recommended. So you're building a network. Your range of motion, your strength building, you're getting out of the house. You know, you're making friends. you know, it's just there's so many cool things and protective factors that go along with, you know, being involved with something like the chair volleyball team.
Yeah.
You know, so props to your seniors, you guys that got the chair volleyball going in your community. That's huge.
Oh yeah.
That's great. You know, that's great. Good job. Really proud of you guys. You know, so and lastly, you know, closing it out, I think the most important thing is the resources.
Resources.
Yeah,
And,
you know, and reach out. Art Calvo, Marissa Yeppa, our elder navigator. Art, Marissa is our social worker on the PEI team. Indian Health Council's phone number. Check it out. Give us a call. Check out our social media. We have tons of resources that we're always sharing, information, COVID resources, medical resources, you name it. We're always sharing stuff. We have the behavioral health helpline. Call down there if you're not feeling great. Talk with somebody, make an appointment, come in. Let's see, we have the suicide prevention hotline, NAMI, the San Diego Access and Crisis line, and some other phone numbers that we'll share as resources. But in particular, I think we got some senior resources down here that we could share, right?
yes.
We have the Better Business Bureau. We talked about some of the contractor fraud. If you feel like you were taken advantage of, the Better Business Bureau is a good one. Aging and Independent Services. Adult Protective Services is another good one. Those are ones that you want to reach out to as well.
Yeah.
So,
And there's many resources out there.
211.
211. It's pretty easy to navigate.
Those are our
Call.
friends.
Make sure those resources are still available, especially if you have a loved one that's, you know, starting to get older, and you want to find out what's going on with them and find out those resources and get them to the right place.
Yeah. So, again, we want to just always looking out for our seniors and our elders. We love you guys. You're always at the top of our list, our main priority. We are here. We're a resource. Reach out. If you need help with some of these resources that we share, we can help you navigate through the system. Thank you guys for taking the time to listen. We look forward to seeing you guys out there in the community. And take it easy and be safe.
Thank you.